Hi Cancer, this is your forecast for the month of August 2017. If you have visited me before, thank you for returning, and if you are new, welcome. This is a general reading for Cancer Sun, Cancer Rising, or Cancer Moon. It could also be helpful for you to watch your rising and moon sign as well. You can join me on Facebook and Instagram for daily insights on tarot and astrology, as well as my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/The Alchemist Astrologer, for love, finance, and other readings. So, Cancer, this week starts off with a major card, the Hanged Man. And you are waiting on something. You're in limbo. There's a lull with regard to something. Now, it could be that you're taking on a new perspective about something. Maybe you're changing your mind. Maybe you're trying to change someone else's mind, or vice versa. But this is a week of enlightenment, about looking at life through a new lens, looking at a situation from a new angle, and that it may require some selflessness or sacrifice on your part. You're going to need to be flexible and adaptable and break from the past in some way. There's a readjustment. And you may take this on voluntarily because there's something, higher at stake. So something could happen unexpected, could be something in your domestic life or a career change, but you are having to surrender to an opposing viewpoint and release your own personal will. Now again, you may be doing this because you are dedicating yourself to some type of goal, or perhaps there's a lull because you're withdrawing in order to meditate, to mull over something. Maybe you're a hospital patient, or maybe you're dealing with someone who is. This card is associated with having to change your perspective, largely in part due to some connection to perhaps a disappointment or a loss or a misunderstanding. Something about a situation is probably not clear. And it may be rooted in emotional disappointment or loss, or the deception on someone's part. So this is a week about stepping back from a situation in order to gain some objectivity, so that you can move clearer and with a new perspective, so you can make sense of whatever it is that's happening around you and make peace with it. This is probably connected to perhaps groups or friendships, or working with others, or partnerships, or socializing in some way. You may be, pulling back from that. Or you may realize that you need to sacrifice in some way in order to work with others. So this is a week where you're going to have to be patient, because again, there's a holding pattern. So you're going to have to be very focused and persevering to reach your goals. This is a week where you can be very realistic about those goals, though, and it makes it easier for you to achieve them because you're being objective. You're not getting overly emotional. You're maintaining a sense of serenity, and you're not letting the negative get to you or create a setback for you. You may be facing a setback, or you may be dealing with a delay. Things are on in a lull, but you're not letting that trigger your emotions. And you're not letting people play with your mind, play mind games with you either. Somebody may pull out the guilt card, or try to manipulate you in a situation, or try to make you feel something other than what you should be. So this is a week to really get clear on what your truth is versus what a projection onto you may be. Now, you may be willing to make some sacrifices this week, but you have to really look at those carefully. Is it worth it? Is there really a larger goal at stake? And will your sacrifice serve that goal? Or are you simply a martyr for the cause and giving in and giving up and making these sacrifices that really don't, accomplish anything? They don't help you get ahead. They don't have any value, and they don't really serve any purpose. And if that's the case, it's because you're falling prey to the influence of Neptune, which is connected to this card. And you are confused about your situation because there's some doubt or uncertainty that's making you hesitate. And you're probably following what comes easy for you, maybe some conditioned habit or the path of least resistance, even though you're going to end up holding the bag in this situation. Now, for some of you, because you're at a standstill, it may be difficult for you to keep your frustration in check. You may be dealing with a variety of issues coming up, and you simply choose one and release all of your resentment out on other people or situations, even though they may have nothing to do with what is truly at the root of your issue. This could be a week that is frustrating in that every time you feel like you have attended to one thing, there's another situation for you to deal with and evaluate. So, this is about taking care of business and trying to keep that peaceful state of mind regardless of the situations that you are encountering. You may be very motivated to go in a new direction. You know what you need to do. You know intellectually how you need to handle a situation. You know what's best for you. And yet, on an emotional level, you could end up falling back again on those old patterns of self-limiting behavior, habits, and attitudes. So this is about knowing when to compromise and knowing when it's just a worthless sacrifice. Being objective about your situation and knowing that just because there's a lull, this is just giving you some time to work some situations out and look at it from a different perspective. Try a different angle about something. Now, the second week you have this Seven of Wands, and so it could be that you were waiting to gain an advantage of some sort, or somebody was trying to convince you of something and trying to gain an advantage through undue influence over you, or vice versa. Because this could be a week where if you were making those needless sacrifices, you've gotten clear about you really weren't getting anything out of it. And so this week you're going to stand up for yourself. It could be that you were waiting to gain this advantage. You were sort of, doing something daring. You're taking this calculated risk to try to get ahead in some kind of way. But this could be a continuation of just simply being a martyr. Maybe you're having to overcome some kind of challenge and you needed to gain a different perspective in order to do that. So this could be a week where you're holding on to your conviction. Something is coming to a head and you're having to assert yourself, and you feel a strong sense of purpose about it. Now, if you are caught up in Neptune still, this could be where you're just letting something happen to you. You don't have the wherewithal to stand up for yourself, and you're in a losing battle. But this week brings the opportunity for change, to follow a dream, to embrace a new self-identity. If you were defining yourself last week by the wishes and ideals of others, if you were claiming the projections that people were putting onto you, this could be a week where you realize there's a need for change, that you should be defining who you are. So this is a week where you can make some beneficial changes in your relationships if you're adaptable. Again, you'll have to discern where in some cases it may be necessary for you to make some sacrifices. You may stand to gain more if you're more adaptable, if you're more flexible, if you're willing to give in on some things, because it could be that you're in a situation where you're holding on to a particular point of view that's actually hurting you or the situation. And if you were to bend just a little bit, you might feel a little bit happier. You could find that this being stuck in a particular way of thinking is actually keeping you in this holding pattern of an upsetting situation. This is going to be a week of both challenge and opportunity. And you're going to find yourself embroiled in karmic situations. And so regardless of whatever it is you're encountering this week, regardless of how small or how great, you're going to have to be very, very focused and very persistent, even to reach the smallest of goals. Now, this could be a week where somebody is, they want to connect to you. What are your thoughts? What do you think? What do you have to offer? What can you bring to the table? Can you give a new slant on this situation? And you may have to change up your schedule or your agenda and reconsider your priorities in order to accommodate someone else. And that may be the sacrifice. This is a time to try to wield influence. If you're trying to change somebody's mind, the way to go about that is to motivate them, to inspire them, so that they will want to work harder or work, for your cause. However, if they're feeling threatened in any way, they may work against you. Now, some of you, there's some disappointment because you feel as if you're working hard, you're putting in a lot of effort, you're trying your best, you're making all the sacrifices you can, and yet, no, you're not getting any appreciation whatsoever. No matter what kind of effort you put out, it's never good enough. So obviously, that's going to cause you to become frustrated. And again, maybe you end up taking your frustration out on the wrong people, at the wrong places, at the wrong time. So this is a week about taking that new perspective, looking at things differently, and perhaps reconsidering your position if the situation merits that. Now, the third week, you are either still very determined about something, or now you're kind of struggling. You were holding on to the bitter end, but now you're running on your reserves. This could be a week that is physically taxing for you in some way. And so you may still be, trying to hold your position, standing your ground. It could be that people are coming at you, and you're having to try to protect yourself, and you're acting in ways that are defensive. And so this could be another week where there is a delay of some sort. In the positive, you're well defended. You're protecting yourself, you're fighting for your rights and your reputation. In the negative, you're still struggling with playing second fiddle and feeling inferior in some way. However, this is a victory card ultimately. It's a victory, though, after a bit of a struggle. So something unexpected this week, again, could put a strain on you somehow. You may have had a number of small setbacks, or maybe, you've taken some hard knocks, some hits. Somebody's attacked you, or there's some setbacks. So this is really saying, once again, reassess your values, your position, and possibly change some habits that have brought you to this very place. This is about changing the way you look at things in order to create that change in your life. By this third week of August, you're probably getting it. You're grasping the whole point of your encounter or battle or situation, whatever you're in. You finally got that memo. And so this new outlook is going to make you more practical about a situation, and you're going to put those emotions aside because you recognize that that's not even helping you. So you're trying to put one foot in front of the other, and that's a wise thing. This is not the moment to try to make some really long range, far-reaching goals. This is about living today and in the moment and dealing with the here and now. For others of you, you are still struggling. You're not able to make the changes that you need to make. You're still grappling with old habits, old attitudes, old situations, and you haven't moved past the hanged man. You're still in limbo. You're not advancing at all. This is especially true if you feel confused or you feel a sense of loss in some way. And this is why it's important to really get a grip on your feelings and step outside of that to become as objective as you can. This is a time for you to really rethink situations and think carefully before you make your decisions. And this probably ties into, getting the reward for some kind of effort you've been putting out, or feeling as if, there's a sense of gratitude about something, or as if, feeling like you're a victim and claiming that as your identity. Now, the fourth week, you have this Ace of Swords. So this is some new beginning in the way you're thinking and communicating with others. Hopefully, it's a positive where you are empowering yourself and gaining some kind of new awareness. There's a forcefulness attached to this card, and perhaps you are applying your personal will. There's a lot of struggle in this reading. And maybe, you're struggling to assert yourself. You're waiting to try to gain an advantage. And maybe you're waiting on the other person to make a move or make a choice, or waiting for a situation to shift. Even so, these new insights that you've gained over the past several weeks, you recognize where the changes need to take place because you recognize what's missing in your situation. Now, for those of you who are asserting yourself, you're getting past, making these worthless sacrifices and letting go of any kind of victim identity. You've decided to take that final step or first step and really speak your truth. Clear the air, let somebody know how you feel or what you think. But in the negative, this is harking back to that hanged man, where you may have been dealing with some type of deception, some kind of emotional misrepresentation, some misinterpretation is coming to light now. But this is a week where you can get some clarity, gain some truth, and have the opportunity to make yourself exactly known and clear with another person so that you can move forward in the future. This is all about strength, claiming your strength, building your self-esteem, and fearlessly moving forward to take action. For others of you, it's a need to get some kind of balance in your life, some kind of grounding. Now, the underlying energy connects to the past in some way. This could be, a month where you're renewing some old ties, or you're connecting to a lover from the past, some old friends. Maybe this is connected to your family in some way. For some of you, you're trying to gain an advantage, intellectually, and maybe it's tied to a job offer or something that you want to do. But whatever it is, this is a month where you are taking a closer look at the progress that you're making. How far have you come, and what kind of advantage have you gained? When you look at it, you may realize, you may feel very blessed. But there are other situations where, you're going to have to face a truth about some kind of indiscretion or mistake or oversight that you made. And for some of you, this is connected to medical issues, and something is going to crop back up to your disadvantage. This could be a month where you may be hearing from somebody, or maybe you need to contact somebody that you really don't want to deal with. And maybe you're struggling to do that, or maybe you feel forced to do it, or you're having some kind of aggressive encounter with another person. In the positive, this could be a month where you get some overdue vindication. You are gaining some advantage. You protect yourself. You come out a victor in the end, regardless of those struggles. And ultimately, you receive or you get to express some kind of appreciation to another person. Something good you did in the past may be bearing some fruit for you right now. And this is a time for you to be very aware of the past. Maybe, you're having an experience that feels very deja vu for you. Your intuition is on point. You call it beforehand and it happens. Your dreams could be very important this month. And for some of you, you're going to hear from somebody or about somebody from your past. And this is a positive thing. There are some avenues or some opportunities that you thought were written off that are now going to open up for you again. But for many of you, this is about dealing with the past and again, grappling with the uncertainty, making those worthless sacrifices. And so you're going to have to really look at the hidden aspects of yourself or a situation that you're involved with. You're going to have to deal with your fears, face your illusions, and, get past some negative habits. This month gives you the opportunity to clarify, to repair, to improve a situation so that you can live your life better. And it's tied to you getting the recognition and success that you deserve and how you go about to do that. So this is going to be an emotionally challenging month for you, where you are doing a review. And again, if you are allowing yourself to be manipulated or intimidated by others, or are you standing your ground and speaking your own truth? Whatever it is, there's a situation here that lacks some sense of stability, or this is a work in progress. There's something that you want. There's a project, a pursuit, a goal that you feel very enthusiastic about, and yet there's some inner resistance that's holding you back. So while you want things to move forward, there's a lull. Things are moving slowly, either again because you have some inner conflicts, or because the outside external world doesn't allow for you to move as quickly as you hope. But this is about self-belief, and you or another person is likely to be rooted in what they believe, whether it's right or wrong, and they're willing to act on their desires, their impulses, because it feels right. And so somebody could be convincing themselves that, hey, this is the thing to do. I've created the perfect argument in order to convince myself that this is the thing to do. So somebody's trying to sell someone something, either you to another person, you to yourself, or someone to you. Now, somebody of authority may step in, but they have only limited influence that can guide a situation. Just so they can maybe take you up to the doorstep, but they can't push you through it. So this is about a plan, an idea, or a goal, or some form of manipulation that somebody is acting on with 100% commitment. All right, Cancer, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And of course, you can always book a personal reading at thealchemistastrologer.com.